Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Skol side back again with another Minnesota Vikings video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something a little controversial with Vikings fans, and it's something that Vikings fans have been seeing it floating around on Twitter, but it's who will be our backup quarterback in this upcoming year. And I think it should be Cam Newton, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Let's get right into it. Alright, now starting off, I just want to preface this by saying if we are going to be signing Cam Newton, it is going to be for the vet minimum. First off, we don't have the cap space to be signing a backup quarterback for a lot. Second off, I don't think Cam Newton should be worth more than the vet minimum. Yes, if he was going to be a starter job, pay him way more, no doubt. But for a backup, vet minimum. Now, I'm going to be talking about the reasons why I think this could work and why I think this is the new age in the NFL, is that you need to have a good backup quarterback. First, I just want to start off with our current backup, Sean Mannion. Now, Sean Mannion, we all saw him in the Week 17 game last year against the Bears. We didn't have nothing to play for. He was playing with a bunch of backups. I get he wasn't with the full roster. However, he did not look that good, and he hasn't looked good on any tape he's played in the NFL. Now, knock on wood, however, if Kirk does go down this year and Sean Mannion's our starting quarterback, we're going to get Trevor Lawrence. We will go 2-14, and that's not even like me praising Kirk, but it's more of just a dig on Sean Mannion. Now, if Sean Mannion's going to have to start more than 10 games this year because Kirk gets hurt or whatever, might as well throw away the season. There would be no point in, honestly, like trying to compete for this because it's just not worth it. We're not going to win with Sean Mannion. Yes, we've seen backups be successful for a game or two. Over the season, Sean Mannion will not work out. Now, the reason I want to bring in Cam Newton is because if you look at guys around the league, you look at Taysom Hill, Jalen Hurts. These are from teams that are the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. Both teams who have won a Super Bowl in recent memory. Both teams who have been really successful in recent memory. And in the NFL, it's all about kind of getting ahead of the curve. And honestly, I think the curve right now is having a backup quarterback who's an athlete, who can make plays. Yes, he might not be the most accurate thrower. However, if you look at what Taysom Hill did for the Saints last year, we look in the Vikings playoff game. He was fantastic for him. He was the second best quarterback on the field besides Kirk. He was better than Drew Brees that game. He was unstoppable. It's just another layer that a defense has to prepare for, and it kind of messes with them because, yeah, you need to focus on their main offense. You need to focus on, for example, for the Saints, you need to focus on Michael Thomas, Kamara, Drew Brees. You need to focus on all of them. You need to focus on all that, Latavius, all they have. But then you just add another wrinkle of the Taysom Hill package they bring in. It is a very deadly offense to prepare for, and it can cause a lot of defensive struggles. Yes, the Saints have not gotten over that Super Bowl hump, but the past 3 years, they've been one of the most successful teams in the league. And I think it's because of that Taysom Hill package. It just adds another layer of being dynamic to their offense. Now, in the NFL, it's all about change. And it's all about getting ahead of the curve. Right now, I mean, if I told you 10 years ago that it would just be passing, that's what wins, you would say you're crazy. It's all about defensive run game. Yes, it's still incredibly important. Defensive run game can still easily win in the NFL. That's not what I'm saying. However, we look at guys like Mahomes. We look at like just how new teams are starting to play. It's completely different. Perfect example of having a running quarterback is, the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar. And I think it's working out great. Now, I'm not saying the Vikings should just completely go to Cam and say, hey, this is your offense. However, if we could bring in Cam, we would have a good backup who, if Kirk would for some reason get hurt, we could all be excited. Yes, if let's just say Kirk got hurt and Cam Newton was our backup, there's a little bit of us Vikings fans in the back of our head that would go, you know what, maybe this guy can get us over the hump too. You know, maybe he can get back to MVP form with Thielen, with Justin Jefferson, with that defense, with Zimmer, with Cook, all the weapons he's going to have. And personally, I think Cam's going to come into this year with a chip on his shoulder. I think he's learned to not be a distraction that he might have been in the past. But really, if you look at the past with Cam Newton and who he is as a person, yes, he's not the most accurate thrower of the football. However, he's dynamic, he's a playmaker. And the whole off-the-field issues, what really issues does he have besides being a big personality? It's not like he's OBJ and he's not committed to the grind or something like that, or he's not like Antonio Brown where he's just a clown. Cam Newton's never really had any off-the-field issues. Yes, he's had run-ins with reporters, but I feel like that was just because he's a competitor. He doesn't want somebody else speaking about his game in a negative way when they don't really know what he goes through. You know, he's posting all these videos on Instagram. He's working out. He's a big physical dude. If we could just sprinkle in a Cam Newton package to this offense, Zimmer, first off, Zimmer would love this because we would be running the ball more. The read option with Cam Newton, Dalvin Cook, I'm not saying this would be our whole offense, but to just throw this in on, like, short down, like, I mean, imagine 2nd and 2 in a big playoff game. We throw in Cam Newton, Dalvin Cook, read option. That would just be so hard to prepare for as a defense. It milks the clock when you have another package like that. Throws them off. And it's also like Cam Newton can't, I mean, it's not like he can't throw, unlike a guy like Jalen Hurts and Taysom Hill. He can go out and throw. Now, about the negative side, I get it. I get Cam Newton. It's a risk. It's a risk, not in the sense of a salary cap wise, because like I said, this is all like assuming it will be on the vet minimum. I get the whole, yes, even though Cam, I don't believe personally is a distraction. However, let's just say week 1 we lose to Green Bay and Kirk has a terrible game. I mean, I would be calling for Cam. Everybody would be calling for Cam to play. And honestly, is that really a bad thing? Cam's won an MVP. He has gotten to a Super Bowl. It's not like he doesn't have experience that can help Kirk. And he's going to be coming in wanting to prove himself again. And yes, if Kirk would go down for some whatever terrible reason, which I really hope doesn't happen, if we could say that we have Cam Newton as our backup and not Sean Mannion, all I'm saying is I would be really open to the idea. You know what? The NFL is changing. It's not the old NFL where it's a sit back. You just have a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Yes, that still can work. However, it's just all about being dynamic now. And adding Cam Newton, we would be dynamic. You cannot tell me that our offense would not get a boost if we add a Cam Newton package similar to a Taysom Hill and a Jalen Hurts, which what they're going to do in Philly. Yes, this is a huge risk. I'm not saying I'm 100% on board with it, but I'm willing to take the risk of Cam Newton being a distraction and bringing him to Minnesota to win football games. Because I guarantee you Cam Newton hears everything in the media. He's pissed he's not signed yet. You can't tell me that doesn't eat at him every day. If we come to him with open arms, saying we're the one team that's going to sign you, we're going to give you a chance if Kirk goes down. We're going to throw in some schemes for you, throw in some games where you could be really successful. Let's just say we're going against a team that has a great passing defense and not a great rushing defense. If we could throw in Cam Newton and just run read option after read option on 2nd and short, 3rd and short game, like type of downs, I'm telling you we could be really successful with it. And it's just about getting ahead of the curve, because I could see a lot of teams in the NFL in upcoming years trying to find a guy like Cam, Taysom Hill, Jalen Hurts, as you already see certain teams coming out and doing, because we already seen the Saints say Taysom Hill's our guy moving forward. The Saints are just trying to be dynamic, and that's all. And that's what wins in the NFL. You got to be really, really good at one thing, and the Vikings could be a really successful offensive team, a really just efficient, successful offensive team, and adding that layer of Cam Newton on it. Yes, I know it's a risk, but that's my argument for it. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, though. I want to hear you guys' negatives about bringing in Cam Newton, because I understand the negatives. I'm just willing to take the risk, because I feel like in the NFL, it is about taking risk. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you were a Vikings fan and you looked on Twitter and saw the Vikings are signing Cam Newton to a 1-year deal for $2 million, what would your reaction be? I'd be excited. I'd be thinking, you know what, Rick Spielman, he's got something up his sleeve. Kubiak, he would love to have a new toy like Cam Newton to put in other running schemes. Zimmer would love it because Zimmer loves running the ball. Only downside, that distraction aspect. That kind of takes it off, like saying Kirk's our guy. I get it, but if you sat Cam down and explained that to him, could be interesting. I don't think it will happen. I really don't think it will happen, but I'm just saying the Vikings should consider it. I guarantee you they have, too, because they realize how bad Sean Mannion is. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. That's what I think the Vikings should do. I think they should sign Cam Newton. Yes, it's a risk. I think it's worth the risk, though. Anyways, guys, please subscribe to the channel. I'd love the support we've been getting. Leave a comment down below if you guys think we should sign Cam Newton. Leave a like on the video, sub, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for our podcast. Thank you so much. See you later.